Hi, welcome to Prolifeic, the show that's a little bit serious, a little bit quirky, and a whole lot pro-life. A couple of weeks ago, Cecile Richards, who's El Presidente of Planned Parenthood America, gave a television interview in which she claimed that the life of her children began the moment she delivered them. That's right, folks, you heard it here first. Cecile Richards, it seems, has a magical, mystical birth canal which can bring non-living things to life. Now, I don't know about you, but I think medical science might be really interested in this special power that she has. In fact, I think this could be the beginning of the X-Men mutations that we've been reading about in the X-Men comics all these years. This might be the first ever recorded incidence of a human being with a real, actual superpower. The ability to use the birth canal to bring dead things to life. Now, this belief that Cecile Richards holds about when life begins is really quite absurd, and that's exactly why I'm being so free with my witty remarks about this issue. The point is this: what is it that changed 24 hours before her children were born to suddenly make them alive 24 hours later after they transitioned through her birth canal? I'll let you on a little secret. Nothing did. A birth canal doesn't do anything to the child. A birth canal is simply the passage that the child travels to transition from one place to another. Now stay with me here because this is going to get really technical for a second. A child is in the womb. When it comes time for them to be born, they transition through the birth canal and they end up outside the womb. Point A, inside the womb. Point B, outside the womb. As Grover would say, near, far. The point is that the birth canal is simply a point of transition. The child travels down the birth canal to move from one location to another. But they are at the same stage of development they were 24 hours before they left the womb. They haven't suddenly been brought to life by transitioning out of that birth canal. In fact, they weren't brought to life just 24 hours before birth either. They weren't brought to life a month before birth. They were alive and living and had all of the necessary markers for biological life that were present from the moment they came into existence sometime around conception. This position that Cecile Richards has chosen to adopt is quite clearly a political one. It's not based on any sort of science. It's something that she's choosing to embrace because she knows it's a convenient and totally arbitrary way of trying to avoid the fundamental issue and problem with abortion, that it kills a living human person. So by pretending there's no living human person there, it suddenly becomes okay to do whatever you want to it right up until the point of birth, which of course suits Planned Parenthood just fine because they make lots of money from this sort of stuff. So of course they're not going to want lots of people choosing not to have abortions when their pesky consciences get in the way and start telling them that their actions could lead to the deliberate killing of an innocent human being. Cecile Richards' belief about when life begins is not only scientifically illiterate, but it is also extremely dangerous because it's just so subjective and arbitrary. What she's saying is a human being doesn't have life, doesn't have value until the point at which I deem it to have life and have value. And if we all function like that in our society, then we'd be in real trouble. In fact, it is precisely this sort of attitude that has led to so many of the human rights abuses that are part of our human history. You have one group who deems another group not to be fully human like the rest of us, and then they use that belief to justify all sorts of atrocities. The same sort of thing is going on here when it comes to Cecile Richards' belief that life doesn't begin until the child is born. It's unscientific, it's arbitrary, and it's totally dangerous. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time on Prolifeic.